Hey Dylan, and I guess everyone who's watching. First up, a quick announcement. This will be the last post on the Modern Quest, the last installment of speeches and stories, lyrics and letters until the new year, so we can spend time with our families and prioritize that way. So there you go. All right, now for the video. Okay. First, I guess I'll respond to your response about the speech about America being the greatest or not. And yeah, I really and I'll always appreciate what you have to say, of course. And um, I guess came across a illustration that really I think encapsulates what I appreciate about this series and how we were able to react to each other's videos and sort of sharpen each other that way. I think I was listening to a podcast about Socrates, and there's some illustration that he uses that, um, like back in the day, in those times, philosophy had this sort of saying, just know thyself. It was one of the main sort of things that guided them in that time. And they're like, ooh, how do you know thyself? How can a brain know its own self? It's like an eye trying to look at itself. How can an eye look at itself? It needs a mirror, right? So how can a brain look at itself? It needs a mirror in the way that it needs another brain to sort of bounce ideas off of and reflect and react to and process with. And that just sounded a lot like speeches and stories, lyrics and letters to me, because we're sort of reflecting and giving feedback and stuff like that. And I always find that you help refine my thinking, and I really appreciate that. So anyway, wanted to say that. About Corey's college debut. That was a great video, great writing. Yeah, I really like your writing style. That's why I originally subscribed to your Substack. I was like, this is good stuff, man. And so yeah, I like it. I'm glad that you're thinking about continuing that story. I'm excited to see where it goes. Um, the point that I think you said you were trying to make with that story is about God's perfect timing. That point, my mind always goes right to like Hannah and my love story. Hannah's and my love story, and how we bumped into each other and sort of were peripherally aware of each other for years. And then I asked her out, but the timing wasn't right. And so she said no. And so then I moved away to Colorado. And then, yeah, years passed, like 5 years later, we eventually get together. And that was when the timing was right. Because we knew who we were a lot better. We knew what we wanted. We knew how to be in a relationship more than when we were in high school or something like that. So that's where my mind goes. And it also is an encouraging thought for times like we're in right now where it seems a little chaotic and unsettled, where there's another baby on the way and we're thinking about moving again just to be somewhere safer, somewhere cheaper, even hopefully. There's a lot of unknowns with job stuff on my side of things, and so it's comforting to know that God has ordained this time in our lives to be what it is, and that we can have faith in Him throughout that and trust the process, more or less. And yeah, that was really good. So thank you for that story. You asked for feedback or tips or something about the writing itself. Um, my mind goes to, of course, Brandon Sanderson stuff, because He has a writing lecture series on YouTube. He teaches a creative writing course at BYU every year, more or less just like on the side for free to give back to the writing community, I think. But a couple years ago, he posted his lectures, and they're really good. And there's a lot of good concepts in there, like um, something I think you did pretty good in this was rooting interest. He calls it, where it's the process of getting your reader invested into your characters and like having them have a reason to care about them. And I think that was done well in this story by sort of having Corey be on the back foot, be a little bit of an underdog, be like, I was out for a couple years. Now it's my time to prove myself, you know? So that was a good way to do some rooting interest. I like that a lot. Another thing, I guess this would be sort of bigger picture for when the story's more um, complete, you know, beginning, middle, end sort of stuff with all the characters and their arcs. But one of those things that Brandon talks a lot about is promise and payoff. At the very beginning of the story, you sort of want to let your reader know what they're getting into, what they can expect, and sort of promise like a tone and sort of the stakes and that sort of stuff at the beginning, and then really have some good payoffs by the end. So those are a couple of nuggets that I think of a lot when it comes to writing, and I think they can apply to your story pretty well. But yeah, check out that whole series. Some of it is about like writing magic systems and stuff like that, so maybe that's not especially applicable to this story. Um, but maybe it is because it's all about presenting your character with challenges and tools and using those in creative ways. So maybe. Um, anyway, today I want to talk about some lyrics. I think it's about time for me to talk about lyrics again. And I thought I would do sort of a compare and contrast between two songs that are pretty similar in subject matter, but pretty different, I think, in terms of creativity and word choice and quality. So, first up, as an example of not so great lyric writing, is Forever and For Always by Shania Twain. Both of these songs are about loving someone always. It's that always type of love that is the through line here. And this song, these are both kind of wordy, full of lyrics, so I don't know if I'm going to read them all, but I'll give you like a verse and a chorus to give you that idea. So it starts off, mm, mm, in your arms, oh, I can hear your heartbeat now, I can hear it beating loud. In your arms, I can still feel the way you want me when you hold me. I can still feel the, or I can still hear the words you whispered when you hold me, or when you told me. I can stay right here forever in your arms, and there ain't no way I'm letting go now. There ain't no way, there ain't no how. I'll never see that day. Because I'm keeping you forever and for always. We will be together all of our days. Want to wake up every morning to your sweet face? Always. Baby. I could keep going, but it's similar stuff. All about heartbeats and kissing and holding and I'll love you always. It's just very straightforward, not very creative or poetic in any way. The rhymes are kind of tenuous at best. Like right, we got what was that one? Always, our days. That's kind of interesting, but also kind of cringy in terms of how good the rhyme is. Anyway, I'm gonna jump over to As by Stevie Wonder. And this sort of takes that idea of loving someone always a step further. Because like you can say, I'll love you forever, I'll love you always. But then the question is like, how true is that? Like you can just say that, but do you mean it? Where's the truth in that? Like how true or how seriously are you taking that? And so he answers that by saying it's as true as this, it's as true as that, and it goes on to like all these really creative word paintings of something that's profoundly true. And I think that's a great approach to this subject. And I'll give you a taste here. He says, as around the sun the earth knows she's revolving, as the rosebuds know to bloom in early May, just as hate knows love's the cure, you can rest your mind assure I'll be loving you always. So already you can tell that the rhyme scheme's a little bit more complex. It's not just A A B B C C. It's like an A B C C B, sort of almost like a limerick form, um, which is interesting. And yeah, so as the sun knows the earth, or as around the sun, the earth knows she's revolving. So the earth knows that she's going around the sun. That's like the main thing the earth does and knows. It's like so immutably true. And that's how true this eternal love is that he's speaking. Just as the rosebuds know to bloom in early May. That happens every May. The rosebuds are going. It's never going to change. Um, every year for hundreds of years, thousands, million, I don't even know. Rosebuds have been blooming in early May. That's what the kind of love he's getting at. It's always there. It's always going to be there. That's cool. He goes on. As now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing will grow older every day. Just as all that's born is new, you know what I say is true, that I'll be loving you always. Yeah, it's good stuff. And it's not only just talking about true things, but in those examples, he's getting into truths about life that are interesting by themselves. Like the fact that um, today has no indication of what tomorrow will bring, besides the fact that we're just going to be getting older, time will be moving on. That's all we really know about the future. But we know that to be super true. And that's how true this guy is telling this woman, I guess, that his love is going to be for always. Yeah, I'm going to skip down so it's to the end a little bit because there's all these examples of like, I'll be loving you always until when? And they're all kind of interesting word pictures. It says, until the rainbow burns the stars out of the sky, until the ocean covers every mountain high, until the dolphin flies and parrots live at sea, until we dream of life and life becomes a dream. That's a cool line. A little flipper. Until we dream of life and life becomes a dream. That's how long I'll be loving you. Um, until the day is night and night becomes a day, until the trees and seas just up and fly away, until the day that 8 times 8 times 8 is 4, until the day that is the day that are no more, until the day the earth starts turning right to left, until the earth just for the sun denies itself, until dear Mother Nature says her work is through, until that day you are me and I am you. Yeah, so all these thoughtful, and some of them don't make straightforward sense, but they do provoke some thought. Like, what does it mean to love someone until the day that 8 times 8 times 8 is 4? It just, I guess, means forever. It's never going to stop, never going to happen. Um, yeah, there's a lot in here. I could pick and choose more verses, and yeah, I'll give you this part. Did you know that true love asks for nothing? Her acceptance is the way we pay. Did you know that life has given love a guarantee to last through forever and another day? Just as time knew to move on since the beginning, and the seasons know exactly when to change, just as kindness knows no shame, know through all your joy and pain that I'll be loving you always. As today I know I'm living, but tomorrow could make me the past, but I that I mustn't fear. For I'll know deep in my mind the love of me I've left behind, 'cause I'll be loving you always. And to me, the sort of like confusing nature of these lyrics isn't so much a drawback as it is an invitation into wonder. And like, what does that mean? And that's kind of what love is like. It's like, what is this feeling? Why is this happening? It's sort of a meta textual representation of love that I think is very cool and creative and a lot better than I'll feel your heartbeat when you hold me. I'm like, yeah, okay. What else you got? You know? Um, so there's Forever and For Always by Shania Twain compared with As by Stevie Wonder a little bit. And yeah, that's what I got for you. Hope you're doing well. Hope to talk to you soon. Hope you have a good December, good little Christmas season. And I'll catch back up with y'all in January. All right. See you next time.